What is up, Waffle Gang? I do hope you are well. My name is Mark, and today we're covering some more r/am I, the butthole. If you'd like to skip the initial waffle, timestamps are in the description and along the timeline below, but if you are new here, please consider hitting that like, that subscribe, and maybe that notification bell too. Now, just a huge thank you to each and every one of you for taking the time out of your day to be here. You really don't know how much it means to me to think that someone is out there taking the time, watching this video, doing whatever they're doing is absolutely crazy to me. It still blows my mind that people are listening, real people listen to me. It's madness. So thank you so much for being you. And let's just crack on with today's stories. Much love, guys. Now, our first story comes from Money Marriage OK. Am I the arsehole for admitting I got married for money and ruining my cousin's idea of love? When I was in my second year of university, I found out I was pregnant with my current husband's baby. We weren't officially dating at the time because my husband was a pretty arrogant playboy back then, who only did casual. After the initial shock and discussions on if I would keep the baby, my husband and his family were very insistent we got married, since they're strong believers in two-parent household, and also because my father-in-law is a semi-public businessman and he thought this would reflect badly on him. I said no initially for obvious reasons, but I eventually agreed to it when my father-in-law offered to pay for all of my student debt and make sure I could finish my degree after I had the baby. He offered me a lot of other financial incentives, and we have a prenup which will make sure I will be okay if our marriage doesn't work out. Honestly, I had little hope. My husband actually changed a lot after we married, and after our daughter was born, we've been very happily married ever since. Not many people know the real reason I got married so quickly in my family. Everyone thinks we're just really loved up and moved fast. My younger cousin is 18 and she wants to drop out of university to marry her boyfriend of 2 years. Her parents are against this, but she keeps using me as an example of why it's a good idea. I heard this from my mum initially and I wasn't going to get involved since we aren't that close, but it came up during a family Zoom party and I said, actually, I got married for money. When she was talking about how our husband and I's love made things work out for us and it would be the same for them. I received mixed reactions from my family. My cousin is devastated and said I ruined her idea of love and being in a relationship was pointless now. One of my uncles took it incredibly personally and said I was a gold digger and he felt awful for my husband and how he doesn't know where my mum went wrong with me. For context, my mum was a single mother and seeing her struggle was part of the reason I agreed to get married. A few other of my relatives said that's something you should keep to yourself because it's disrespectful to my husband and our marriage. My cousin's mum is really happy with me though. What do you think, guys? Am I the arsehole? Well, personally, I think you just spoke the truth in this actual story. You just came out and said it, you know. I got married for money, and people do get married for all different reasons, right or wrong. They actually do. But I think what you really need to do in this situation is take a step back and talk to your cousin again and explain, you know, you are happily married now. It's not still all about the money. Maybe it is, but it sounds like that love has grown between you, so it's turned into a good thing in the end. I don't know, I might be just talking rubbish on this one. But Misbehave says, info, where is the school with rich playboys that pay you to marry them after they knock you up? And OP replies, it's a fairly well-known UK university if that helps. And Coyote says, not the arsehole, you told the truth and it's what she needed to hear. Marrying for financial security isn't weird, it's sensible, and you did what was right for you and your child. I'm just glad it seemed to have all worked out for the best for you. KHC says not the arsehole, but the way you approached it isn't great. You were young, pregnant and very limited on options. You chose well and I would have done exactly the same in your shoes. It sounds like it worked out well and you have a solid marriage, which is wonderful. The way you phrased it on Zoom sounds very different though. You need to call your cousin and explain exactly what you meant and how everything came about. Love grows and the idea of love is never pointless. It's also very much worth pointing out that there was enough financial support around when you guys got married to help the relationship survive. Money is one of the biggest stresses in life, and being young, broke and married is damn sight more stressful than being young, secure, married, baby or not. Miniature Duck says, you are definitely not the arsehole, you're not a gold digger. It was effectively like an arranged marriage and they offered you a dowry as an incentive. You are realistic and your cousin needs to learn the truth about fairy tale romances and happy ever after before she threw her life away. Loop says, you really saved your cousin of possibly growing up thinking there was something wrong with her if her early marriage didn't reflect what yours looked like in the beginning. No other option matters here because you went with this with your eyes wide open, and your cousin should too. You weren't really a gold digger, by the way. You were a degree digger, which is another way to look at grants and scholarships. Lol, not the arsehole. Now I turn this to you guys. What do you guys think of the situation? Do you think OP was right to say to cousin, you know, I just got married for the money, and some people do that? Or do you think they should have approached it in a different way? Let me know in the comments below. And our next story comes from Evan CR. Am I the arsehole for putting my ex-wife on the no contact allowed list at my grandmother's group home? I, 35 male, was married to Zoe, 32 female, for 6 years. We got a divorce at the beginning of last year. She had thought I was cheating, I wasn't, and cheated in retaliation. I found out and ended things immediately. We didn't have any kids and the house was mine, so it was a really quick process. Zoe didn't take the divorce well. She wanted to work on things. I believe there's no coming back from infidelity like that. She told everyone she knew I'd given up on our marriage and abandoned her. That's just a little background on the situation. My grandmother is an amazing woman who needs round-the-clock care due to her deteriorating mental state. Physically, she's probably healthier than any of us, but she has trouble remembering things. If she took meds, shut off the stove, etc. She lives in a really great group home, and I see her often. After our divorce, Zoe asked if she could keep visiting my grandmother, and I said yes. However, I began to realise that Zoe was using my grandmother as a tool to get back in my good graces. She was giving my grandmother framed photos from our wedding to keep on her bedside. She would tell her stories as if the two of us were still married. She would give my grandmother messages to give me. Example, Zoe told me to tell you you're the love of her life, etc. It happened for a short time before I contacted Zoe and told her to stop. It was confusing and frustrating for me and my grandmother when I had to constantly be reminding her that Zoe and I weren't married anymore. Zoe stopped for a while, and the only issue we were having that she happened to come to visit grandmother when I would be there. My grandmother has a calendar on her wall there where I mark down all the days I'm coming to see her. I'm pretty sure my ex was taking photos of it or something. Recently I began seriously dating a woman, Claire. On my last Zoom call with my grandmother, she was extremely agitated. When I asked her why, she said she was extremely upset to hear from Zoe that I was throwing away our relationship to date an underage floozy. My girlfriend is 28 and a paralegal. I told my grandmother about her a few weeks ago, and she had been extremely happy for us. I called Zoe and told her she wasn't allowed to visit my grandmother anymore. I called her home and told her not to accept calls or visits from her. My ex-wife says I'm depriving her of a woman she sees as her own blood. I say this is the last time I'm going to have her emotionally manipulate my grandmother and upset her for Zoe's own selfish reasons. Am I the arsehole? Come on now. She's absolutely using your grandmother for her own selfish shit. Oh, that pisses me off. Playing with someone with their mental state already all over the place is absolutely disgusting behaviour. And you are absolutely right to be protecting your grandmother from that toxic behaviour. Good on you for doing so. I can't believe that person and the whole retaliation cheating at the very start. Oh my word. Cat MCK says not the arsehole. She's not there to visit your grandmother. She's there to use her as a pawn in a sick little game. Shut that shit down. Ms. Pac-Man says not the arsehole. That's fucking evil. Deliberately confusing, misleading an innocent old lady, and the end game is what? For you to get tired of thwarting her fuckery and resign yourself to an unhappy relationship? It's cartoonishly stupid. The Mirror's Truth says not the arsehole. Your ex is unhinged and your elderly grandmother should be protected from her. You also need peace away from her. Epthys says not the arsehole. Of course not. She is selfishly using your grandmother to get you back or get back at you and causing pain and confusion in the process. That is elder abuse, plain and simple. Put a stop to that shit and never talk with this woman again, for fuck's sake. And Javi Swag says not the arsehole at all. She's basically abusing an elderly person with dementia and stressing her out about your relationship which no longer exists. She's manipulative and creepy and cruel. Take her off the visiting list right away and make sure the employees are aware that she isn't allowed to see your grandma at all due to the abusive behaviour. Absolutely crazy story there. What do you guys think of it, and what do you think OP should be doing? Is there anything more they can be doing in this situation? Because clearly that person, like they said, is unhinged. Let us know in the comments below. Now our next story is from Forward Amoba. Am I the arsehole for severely limiting my grandma's time with my daughter? So me, 40 male, and my husband, 41 male, have a daughter, 11 female together. Thing is, she was born AMAB, assigned male at birth. We found out a year and a half ago when she went through a really bad stretch of depression when she ended up almost non-functional. We did our research, read the studies, talked to the experts and older trans women, and it all said helping her socially transition, no drugs or surgeries or anything yet, was the way to go. So we did. Nearly instant significant positive change. It was like meeting my kid for the first time. Things have been going mostly very good since. The problem is Grandma, 72 female, when our daughter went to visit, it was usually really good. We live in an area that COVID is largely under control and both families are virtually isolated. They both love spending time together, but probably 1/5 times Grandma will show our daughter some video about how kids can't be trans, blah blah blah. It's always stuff you can Google and see is wrong, but our daughter is young, going through a lot and loves her grandma, so it's always threw her for a loop. For a couple of days after, she wouldn't eat much, her sleep schedule went to shit, and she'd have a breakdown over the tiniest thing, and was generally miserable. She'd be fine after a few days, but my concern was one of these grandma episodes would coincide with something else bad happening and throw her into a spiral that would end up lasting longer. We talked to Grandma, showed her all the studies and expert advice, told her it wasn't acceptable, and it kept happening. We gave it time too. We know it's a lot to adjust to, but last month we told Grandma she wasn't going to be seeing our daughter for more than brief periods when we were around until she could stop sending her into a depression spiral. They're both pissed with me, and some of Grandma's side of the family is calling me callous for depriving her of her only grandchild. Am I the arsehole? And thank you to the mods. I know this is making work for you. Firstly, you got to say well done for being just a great parent and looking out for your daughter's well-being and just being there, doing the research and all the good stuff. And I can't say you're the arsehole in this situation. You're just looking after your daughter's mental health. And, Grandma needs to learn this is what you're doing. And if she can't accept that, then I'm afraid there are consequences to these actions. But Watcher from the South says absolutely not the arsehole. Let me repeat this louder. Not the arsehole. Please continue to protect your daughter. You're doing what's best for her. When she's older, maybe in a few years, she can decide if she wants to see her grandma again. But you're doing absolutely wonderful by her, protecting her and her mental health. I'm trans and I'm so incredibly grateful for parents like you. Thank you for taking the time and educating yourself and standing up for her. Hope you and your family have a wonderful end of 2020 and an amazing 2021. Lead Forsaken says not the arsehole. If family do something to regularly negatively affect their relatives and they've been warned and keep doing it, then it's on them and not the person setting boundaries to protect the loved one. And iDiggery says not the arsehole. To be explicit, OP, you have one obligation and one obligation only, to your daughter. Your daughter is blessed to have parents like you who support, accept and validate her. That's monumental and heartbreakingly rare in trans communities. And this means protecting her from anyone and everyone who attempt to attack her at the heart of her being. And that's what the grandmother is doing. She's invalidating who your daughter is at the core of her identity. It's profoundly destructive behaviour. Grandma has proven at this point that she can't be trusted. To be clear, it doesn't matter whether or not she believes the studies. What matters is she is violating your very clear mandates for what is and is not acceptable behaviour around your daughter. We happen to be talking about something of paramount importance, but we could be talking about something minor, and this would still be a huge problem. The fact that we're talking about something that is a huge part of why suicide rates are high in trans community just makes the answer clear. You're saving your daughter's life by accepting and celebrating who she is. Do not make exceptions for this for anyone, grandmothers included. If grandma can't play by your rules, she cannot see her granddaughter, full stop. Not the arsehole at all, OP. You're a wonderful parent and I'm so thankful your daughter has you and your husband. Your daughter will get over not seeing her grandma all the time. She will not get over being taught to hate herself by her grandma. Now I turn this to you guys. What do you guys think of this situation? Let me know in the comments below. And our next story is from a throwaway account. Am I the arsehole for telling my brother to shut the fuck up about his PTSD? I'm 17 female and my brother is 13. When I was 4, I had to take care of him and there was an accident and he ended up losing a finger. It was very traumatizing for me, but he does not remember it because he was a baby. Now that he's older, he milks the hell out of it. He gets away with everything because my parents feel sorry for him. All he has to do is show his hand and say he only did what he did because he's so haunted by the memory, and my parents chastise me instead. I'm blamed for everything now because of something stupid I did when I was 4. His bad grades, his screaming at video games, his stupid friends ruining shit. All of it's my fucking fault and I'm tired of it. He tells all his friends at school about his crazy sister who hacked off his finger, and they always treat me like I'm a lion in a cage. They know I can't do anything in front of my parents, so they tease me and ask what I'll do to them, if I masturbate to the memory, etc, etc, etc. It's all so fucking annoying. Today he had his girlfriend over. I was sitting in my room and I was paying attention to their conversation until I heard him say PTSD. He said that when he was 4, I did something too terrible to talk about, and I had enough. I barged into his room and said he needs to stop using his finger for attention and that he was a baby and doesn't even remember it. Meanwhile, I was 4 and felt responsible, and it didn't help that my parents to this day use it against me. He said he had no idea my parents heard the commotion and screamed at me in front of the 12-year-old girlfriend. It was all very embarrassing. I'm now not allowed to eat dinner with my family for 2 weeks or talk to him while they coddle him for missing a finger. I do feel like I shouldn't have started the scene in the first place, but I was too fed up. Am I the arsehole? Now, I think I'm going to be saying straight away that the parents sound like absolute arseholes in this situation. I mean, you was 4 when this accident happened, when your little one lost a finger. We don't know what happened, but still a 4-year-old was looking after a 1-year-old. This just doesn't make no sense to me, and it sounds like your parents are pushing their responsibilities onto you when they should have been the one that was looking after the both of you at that time. It just sounds to me like it's all down to the parents, this is, and it sounds like you're in a terrible situation and what you're going through mentally because of this, because you keep getting picked on because of it. It's absolutely insane. But BeckDog19 says, not the arsehole and your parents are abusive as hell. Hope you can get out of there soon. The other Asa Beck says, not the arsehole, a 4-year-old shouldn't have been watching a 1-year-old. Your parents should be taking responsibility and are the ultimate arseholes for not doing that. KHC says, I have a 4-year-old. She is a very kind, caring, loving little sweetheart who I would not trust to babysit the cat. The fact that your parents apparently still blame you instead of themselves is frankly insane. Look, if you actively took a pair of scissors and cut his finger, I can understand there being a bit of weirdness that they can't let go, but anything accidental, it is insane to expect a 4-year-old to be able to appropriately monitor and react to a dangerous situation. I'm surprised you don't have a bit of CPTSD as well. The Aardvark of Law says, not the arsehole, why on earth were you made responsible for a helpless baby at 4 years of age? Your parents have a lot to answer for. Deepest condolences for your situation, OP. I hope it gets better somehow. And I'm trying to find the story of what happened and, how did this accident actually happen, and there wasn't one. But I did find another story within the story of someone who had something similar happen. And it was from a user called It Was Me, a Dio. I did something similar to what OP did when I was in kindergarten, but with less lasting trauma. I was an exceptionally stupid child, so much the fact that I've yet to die from something like eating rat poison is commendable. My mum once left me with my 2-year-old sister in another room while she was cooking. There was a toolbox underneath the couch that I pulled out to show my sister. She took out a pair of pliers, the ones with those circular indent things, and told her to let it go. I explained that it was dangerous to play with because our parents said so, and without any questions I offered to show her how it was dangerous. I made her put her pinky in between the pliers, and without the slightest hesitation I clamped those mofos down and ended up crushing my sister's finger. I only realised what I'd done when she started screaming and thrashing around. Thankfully her pinky wasn't permanently damaged, but I still felt really guilty about what I did. My mum came and gave me some smacks. Don't freak out, we're Asian. After, so a good chunk of that guilt slid off and they gave me vindication that I was no longer accountable. My logic, my mum already transferred a good deal of my sister's pain onto me, so we should be good. Damn, man. But now I'm going to turn it to you guys. What do you guys think of this situation? And how do you think OP can deal with it? Because they're clearly in a tricky situation, and how are they going to get the parents to listen to them, right? Let me know in the comments below. Now, some of you have been asking for updates on my dad. I haven't done one in a while. I do apologize for that. So, the video pretty much ends from here if you don't want to listen to an update about my dad. But here we go. So I've been down to see him recently. I'm going again today to see how he's doing. I can't remember if I actually explained to it on a video yet, but I did put in an update somewhere that he had a fall. He's just so weak on his legs now. He can't even walk up the stairs by himself. I literally have to hold his weight to get him upstairs. So when he goes to the bathroom and things and goes to the toilet, he basically fell over. His legs gave way and he fell over, hit his head on the sink and his ribs on like a bathroom step that's in there. So he injured himself a bit. He's okay in the head and the ribs. He's okay, just a little bruise basically. We did get him checked out and all that sort of stuff. But mentally, it's really knocked him backwards a few steps. I couldn't believe it. Like weeks before, we're starting to see my dad coming back, you know, his laughing self. He was eating so much more, eating chocolate bars, you know, he can pretty much eat what he wants at this stage, you know, because we're in sort of like the end game as such. So nurses and things just say, eat what the hell you want, eat cake, eat chocolate. So, you know, he's making the most of that. He's eating loads of chocolate and all this sort of stuff, and he absolutely loves it. And he was in the living room that we put upstairs for him, so he's watching TV, but then this happened and now he's just sort of lying in bed again at the moment. He just doesn't want to get out of bed. I think he's too scared that he might fall over, and we've got like a walking frame and a walking stick just in case he wants to use it, because it was from my mum. She started using it towards the end as well, and we said, look, you can use that just to get around, just to get into the chair to watch TV again. And I think because we just don't want him laying there looking at four walls all day, it's just so not healthy. And we was planning to have like a little bit of a family Christmas with him, and he was accepting it. He said, as long as I'm not feeling too rough, I will come round and do that and spend Christmas. And he said, I don't know if I'll be able to eat very much, but he'll come round, which we're all really excited for, but we're not sure what's going to happen at the moment. We're going to keep talking to him, keep trying to like encourage him at little bits at a time to hopefully get him round for Christmas, which would be great, as because we know 100% this will be his last Christmas, so we do want to spend it with him 100%, right? Yeah, but that's where we are at the moment. I'll go and see him today, and hopefully he's back in his living room. I'm praying that he is anyway. But yeah, that's it for now. Thank you for asking, by the way. It's really sweet of you to do so. Really nice, and I love hearing your stories, you know, that are relatable. And when I say love, you know, I don't mean to say, oh yeah, it's great you're in the same situation, but I mean, you know, to be relatable with you guys is absolutely fantastic. To know a lot of us are in the same boat, or will be at some stage, so share your stories. It's always good to hear. Anyway, thank you for being here today, guys. I hope you are enjoying the stories at the moment. I'm enjoying interacting with you and getting involved as we're approaching Christmas. Have a great day, guys. Whatever you're doing today, I hope it's a good one, and I will see you in the next one. Take care, guys. Much love. Goodbye.